Start of the game, by the way. Final Fantasy XVI is the latest installment of the Final Fantasy franchise known for its turn-based combat. So naturally, the 16th installment is an action game with the combat director being the guy who did Devil May Cry 5, obviously. You got a basic combo, an aerial combo, a lunge, which most of you has probably spammed to death not knowing that it barely does much of anything instead of using, well, anything else. The real meat of the combat is with the 7 stances you get throughout the game. You have one that warps with fire. You start off with this one. You have one that pulls and slaps a lot. You have one that summons the wrath of God upon your enemies. You have one that guards, but most importantly, does a JoJo. In other words, punch for days. You have one that zones and fires a giant laser and fires down raining death. You have pure ice that can literally freeze time, but only if you dodge. And then you have Virgil. No, seriously, it's just Virgil that stands. Directed by Naoki Yoshida, or Yoshi-P, who is the man behind the critically acclaimed MMORPG Final Fantasy XIV with an expanded free trial which you can play through the entirety of A Realm Reborn, and the award-winning Heavenward expansion, and also the award-winning Stormblood expansion up to level 70 for free with no restrictions on playing time. And yes, that's the MMO's official title. As for story, Final Fantasy XVI goes back to the good old days of Final Fantasy when it's actually fantasy. And the gods are actually gods, except the size range from organic mech to Mount Everest. And we fight them like that. And it's the best game ever because of it. So here's Final Fantasy XVI poorly summarized. Also, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We play as this guy, Clive Frostfield, who is on a mission to slay this thing, Ifrit, for killing his brother Joshua, who happens to be this Phoenix. Along the way, we meet the game's resident Sid and Best Boy Torgo, who'll be our companion for the rest of the game, as well as rescue this chick who is our childhood friend Jill. During our revenge quest, we ran into this chick, Benedicta, who also happens to be a dominant of this thing, Garuda. We beat her, seal her power, and we fight Garuda. And as it turns out, we were Ifrit. Oh my god. With that revelation in mind, we reunite with Jill, and we head on to Rosaria because not only are we there to get answers, but apparently the guy who we thought was originally Ifrit is also there. Apparently. Also, the guy turns out to be Joshua. Who knew? So we go there, find out the truth, and we accept the truth that we are Ifrit, and we go on our merry way to continue the rest of the story. So as it turns out, the entire world has gone to complete doo-doo, all because of these mother crystals. But ironically, they're the very things that everyone absolutely needs to use. Or wants. Who knows. So we go over there and destroy it. Because our plan is to smash these things, I guess. But Zed dies, fight this thing, and we meet Ultima. Spoilers, he's the big bad. Joshua arrives, reunion, and he seals Ultima. Time skip where this guy, Hugo Cupcake, yes, I'm going to call him that, destroys the original hideout. We are on a run, and we take the name Sid.
It's good to see you, Sid.
We attack this crystal, which happens to be the crystal that belonged to Rosaria once, but now belongs to these guys who kidnapped Jill once. And we reunite with our dear uncle who is willing to give us a ride there after reuniting with our old friends here in Rosaria, the Shield. We smash the crystal, only to find out that Hugo Cupcake is attacking our hometown. So we return home, find Hugo Cupcake for revenge, for multiple reasons. We also cut off his arms, so yay. Afterwards, we decide to finish up our revenge after reuniting with Uncle, and head on over to Dhalmekia, find Hugo Cupcake, find him at the Titan, in probably one of the most epic boss fights you'll ever see. Seriously, look at this. This is so awesome and huge. And we're not even close to the final boss yet. So we kill him, smash this crystal, and return home. Our next target is this crystal. But during the time, Joshua and his little attendant has been doing some things, like planning an alliance with Dion, who decided to attack the Crystal Dominion, which also happens to house this crystal that we're attacking. So we're going to be fighting Bahamut. Spoilers. We fight Bahamut, and turn into Ifrit Risen by fusing with our brother Joshua. Culminating in an equally as epic space fight with Bahamut. With a bunch of lasers. We win, smash this crystal, and then Ultima returns and finally decides to be a real big boss. And, well, causes trouble for the world. Our next crystal is this one. But we end up having to fight this guy, who kicks up butt twice. We face him in a battle that is not as big and bombastic as the last two fights, but still just as epic. We beat him, and then we face Ultima, with Joshua on our side. Speaking of Ultima, turns out this guy was from another continent, who fled that said continent, all because he was afraid of this thing, the Blight, and basically playing God by making us in order to find a way to survive it. Little does he know, we actually evolve, and he hates it. So he wants humanity to become mindless puppets, but secretly he actually wants us dead. So of course, we reject him, kick his butt. He tries to possess Clive, but Joshua snaps him out of it. But Ultima, still being a sore loser, wants to end things once and for all, and create another crystal for us to smash. Bunch of side quests later, and side content, and we finally decide to fight Ultima. First fight, essentially a quick time cutscene fight, ending with a pretty cool version of Try Disaster. Second fight, we actually fight Ultima this time. Third fight, one last kaiju fight, in space. So much farther in space. Final fight, we face Ultima one more time as he tries to use all of the abilities that we have gathered ourselves, thinking that he'd win. We won. And I'm not even joking, we actually do a title drop here.
Only fantasy here is yours, and we shall be its final witness.
So Clive saves the world, and we don't know whether he dies or not, and same for Joshua, end credits, and post credits. The end.